This is a quick video on how to make graphs using Google Sheets. If you notice, I have a Google Sheet opened. I even named it Graphing Example. I'm going to choose one of the columns and one of the cells. I always start with my x-axis because the x-axis is the horizontal axis. It is the independent variable. So in this case, let's say I have time and I want minutes to be my label. Then I am going to actually figure out what the temperature would be at specific points in time. So therefore, that's my y-axis or the vertical axis or the dependent variable. And so I'm going to put in temperature there, and I am going to label it as Celsius. So now my graphs are actually labeled. So now I'm going to put in my data. Let's say 2 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And at each one of those points in time, I took the temperature. So this was 17 degrees, this was 14, then I had 29, and then I eventually had 28. Let's say that that was my data. What I can end up doing is highlight the data, go under Insert, and select Chart. This is the type of data that shows change over time, so the program automatically suggests that you are looking for a line graph. So you can either select that by clicking off of it, and it becomes part of what you want. You can take a picture of that and then put it on your lab report or any of your homework sheets or presentations. If you would like to have some other type of data with that, or let's say that you're like, oh, I want to do another sample. Well, the x-axis is the reason why you always go first. And then you may have one sample that you did temperature, and then maybe you want to do temperature too. Okay, you ran the experiment again. So in this experiment, you ended up with 16. You ended up with 15. This one only came out to be 23 and 27. Well, I can still keep the graph from before, and I'm going to move it down here, but I want a new graph with the new data. So basically, I can highlight whatever I want, then I hit Chart, and in this case, it still says, hey, this is good line graph data, so it will actually give me the data with everything on it. Let's say that I wanted a bar graph. I could actually flip it to a bar graph just by selecting the chart type on the right-hand side. If I wanted to actually go with a pie graph, I could do that as well. However, this is the type of data that usually actually has a line graph. The data that usually has parts or percentages goes with pie graphs, and if you're comparing two things, you may use a bar graph. So let's use some data that would actually use the other two charts or graphs. So let me choose color as my x-axis, and let me choose amount as my y. So the colors that I will put in there are purple, and then I will put in gold. Purple has 130, gold has 50. If I highlight those, the system is going to realize that those are parts in comparison. So I just, again, go under Insert, hit Chart, and it will actually give me a pie graph. Now, you can actually say, okay, I'll take that, or you can actually switch it to a column graph or a row graph, a type of bar graph, and you can do that as well. All right. The point is that you always want to put in the x-axis information first, and then you can add y data from different samples or different experiments. All right. So hopefully that gives you enough of how to actually go about forming any kind of chart or graph that you want. You first put in the x-axis data, then you would put in your y-axis data. Each set of data goes in its own column. If you want to put the label and the units in the column, the first cell of each column that you're going to have, that will put that on your graph. Then you end up going to insert, you hit chart, and then you'll be able to set up whatever chart type you want. Hopefully that helps.